Justin Gatlin is the latest in a long line of sprint sensations to emerge from the USA.
Gatlin got a good start. Look at this man coming through now. Gatlin. What a fantastic performance from Gatlin.
It's all about Gatlin.
Ultimate goal is to be one of the best sprinters in history.
And what a fantastic performance from Gatlin. And look at the time.
It's the American leading the Jamaican at the moment.
He knows he is the world champion.
Justin Gatlin is the world champion here in London.
Hey, what's up, buddy? We're back with another episode of Ready, Set, Go. We in the building. You see where I'm at right now, man. I am at AP Ranch. I'm not alone. Y'all know who I'm with, man. Especially when I'm out here moving around with my boy, the bearded wonder,
this boy,
Rodney Green.
This boy gonna make that bearded wonder big.
You need a shirt, boy. Bearded wonder, dog.
I'm gonna get a shirt. We are at the Athletic Performance Ranch, man. Beautiful ranch. They let us film here today, man. It is an amazing facility. If you're ever in Dallas and you get a chance, man, you guys should come down here and visit with the director, Mr. Greg, man. He's an awesome guy, man. Awesome.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So since we have this nice setup, let's get into it, man. This past week, Noah Lyles raced Tyreek Hill. No, I'm just playing. He actually raced Speedy. He goes by iShowSpeed.
I'm about to say, I know Tyreek ain't stopping this season to race nobody.
This would be his best shot, though. His best shot is the race right now while he's priming.
Whether the Dolphins are going to win or lose, he ain't doing that. But you're right. It would be his best shot to race right now. One, because Noah's out of season. He's probably just now probably starting back up. And two, Tyreek is in season. So he's probably in prime shape to run as fast as he can. So this would be the perfect time. But Noah wouldn't do that. Noah's smart. I think he, if I'm not correct, he knows how football works. So he probably wouldn't race him until February. I think February is the best time for Noah to race him.
So did you watch the race? Did you see the video?
I did watch the race. I did. I watched Noah tell him, don't give up if I'm beating you by, I think, the second step or something, but he pops Noah out the hole.
He does. They're pretty much stride for stride halfway through the race.
Right. But I don't think Noah, I mean, people would beg to differ. I don't think Noah was at 100% and he was trying to be at 100%. He was trying to play with him too much, but I think he might have underestimated his quickness within like the first 10 meters of that 50-meter race.
Listen, man, it says in his name. His name is Speedy. So he got a little foot speed to him. He has to at the end of the day. But like I told people, this is November.
Yeah.
Noah's in no shape whatsoever. He's not in speed endurance shape. He's not in speed shape. That's just his raw, wake up, not in shape, speed right there.
Yeah.
And that's what he gave.
Yeah, he out there buying houses and stuff. That's what he doing.
He does have a new house.
Yeah, he out there doing that. I mean, but I heard it was for $200,000. I guess $100,000 for the win and $100,000 to charity. I may be wrong. I'm not sure, but I seen that I do feel like stuff like this is good for track and field. Reason being, at $100K from Speedy or whoever put up the money, that's more than the World Championships. That's more than the Olympic Committee for a gold medal from the USA. That's more than any championship at that. There's more than the Diamond League. There's more than anything that you put out, which is weird because to be a high elite ranking athlete and you are going to potentially make your biggest purse from a charity run.
Listen, I keep saying it over and over again. The fact is, not many people care about results, like time-wise, as much anymore. It doesn't hold as much weight as in this era. People care about persona. People care about how when you come across that line, what swaggy thing you doing, what you saying. They want to know your character. They want to know how you going to be out there, right? They want the kids say the aura. They want to know your aura. And at the end of the day, this was a win for track and field. Why? And this was a win for Noah. Why? Because, like you said, it was a charity run, for one. He got half of the charity. He got 100K, probably the easiest 100K he ever got, which is I only got to race you for 50 meters, and I only got to show you my true speed to beat you, and I come away with 6 figures. more than I would at any other race that I would if I'm in season primed and ready to run the fastest I can run, that was a win. That was a win. And the people he raced against, Speedy, has millions of followers. Same thing with the referee, Mr. Beast, millions of followers.
100%.
So now, not only does he still secure that he's the fastest man in the world, but it's also the fact of he has now gained traction in a whole nother a whole nother place.
That's good. And what's good for that is that we have more eyes on the sport. My question now is I know we seeing that the Diamond League has more money. I don't know if they released the structure yet. Because we know it used to be like 10 grand for the win. And now since they upped the purse, what would be the winning amount for each event now?
I guarantee you ain't gonna be no six figures. It ain't gonna be 100K.
Do you think that the Diamond League should move it based on how rich every country is or what sponsors they could win? So say, some countries could do the purse at 10 grand per race. But we all know a city like Monaco, their purse could be possibly a 6-figure deal, but it off structures the Diamond League final if they do it that way.
It would. So people would come and flock, try to come to Monaco because they know it's a higher win. The purse is going to be bigger, and they would not so much come to the finals. Now, people out there who are winning or getting second, getting a high placement, they're going to want to be a little more greedy. They're going to be like, I'll go to Monaco and I'll go to the finals. But most people are going to be like, I want to go to Monaco because I know I'm ready and I can win big. And secondary will be finals. So it actually would put everything, on its head. It'll be upside down because now the most important race is the one that has the most money, not because it has a title of the finals.
True. In other news, since we're talking about money, I'm going to reference another podcast show, Track Culture, with Nathan Neal, Mitchell Blake, and
Anson
Henry. Anson Henry, is it? That's it? His last
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
I want to make sure. They talked about removing the structure of appearance fees and making the purses huger. So it would definitely be like our sport would be more like golf now then. So you say each event has like their own sponsor at maybe 200K. But now at 200K, you have no one that's going to get an appearance fee for that race. But everybody will want to be in that race just because of what you just said, because of how much the purse is. Do you think that structure will work better in our sport?
No,
Why not?
because this is how the system sets up. If I'm a meat promoter, I want to have the biggest, fastest runners in my race, men or female, right? And let's just say a certain individual who would be high quality, a high caliber, that would come with an appearance fee. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're not in full race mode yet, right? So now they opt out because you ain't paying me to come. Because in the day, those same individuals are the ones that put butts in seats. That's the difference. There's 7 other guys lined up, and those 7 other usually don't put butts in seats. There's going to be a ratio, and there's going to be a percentage of people who just want to see the 100, and there's going to be a larger percentage of people who want to see the headliner that's going to show up and run. Now, if I can't get the headliner because I'm not giving him an appearance fee, and then he thinks, hey, I can't come out here and win this race because I'm not sharp enough yet, he's not going to show up. So that means less people are going to be in the audience, and it's going to be just people out there for a grab all.
So, and they made great points on their show. They use like you can't structure it for all the events, and that's what makes it easier for the meat promoters to pay out. Because if you give an appearance fee, you already have the purse, which is budgeted out for the wins and losses of everybody that compete at your event. So now, if you make it a purse, what would the purse be for shot put? What would the purse be for long jump? What would the purse? Because now it changes. Like you can't have those much bigger purses for every event. So,
and I think that's going to throw us backwards because now you have all these field events who have been working hard to be considered equal, and if their purse doesn't equal a high caliber 100-meter race, then there's no equality. Once again, now you've given just a little bit towards the field events and you still giving the lion's share towards the sprints. I always felt like in this aspect, that's where track should be divided. And I hate saying such a strong word like divided, but to get the attention that you need to be in the spotlight in our sport. And the spotlight usually is the 100 meters, the 200 meters, hurdles or sprints or whatever, right? Usually, or if there's an individual that stands out and is very dynamic, has a character that you remember from a different event, like a 400-meter hurdles or a long jump or something like that, then yes, in that moment in time, they will garner more money. But if they don't, then you have people who have worked all year long for this moment to happen, and now they're going out there picking up pennies. And they looking, sitting there in the stands or in the warm pair, watching 100-meter go off, and they're out there racing for $500,000.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, if I was a thrower or a jumper in that situation, I would be truly disgruntled. Like, I worked so hard to come out here and jump, get first place, and I'm only getting what? 8K? They just raced for 500K?
Yeah. So what we do? I mean, we definitely as track and field, because we're together. You're saying that we divide, and if we do divide, that means we have to magnify the field events. How do we champion them on? As far as putting on an event of that people want to watch, and I think we talked about this in the past of, using everyday things to show how great these athletes are. The world record in high jump is 8 feet. You know what I mean? That's damn near 2 feet below. Like somebody leaped over 8 feet backwards. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. You know what I mean? We talked about jumping the length of a school bus, or, you know what I mean, a long jump. Like, how could we equate these things to where the average fan can understand and love field events as much as we do or appreciate them?
We don't necessarily care about the thought process of the average fan. The average fan is already there watching. We need new fans. That's where it's at. We need new fans, and new fans are going to help bring new sponsors because it's new eyes. I'll give you a perfect example. You just talked about high jump. Now, everybody has been going crazy over Saquon Barkley doing the reverse hurdle.
He's
in
an
the middle
Eagle,
of the
by the way.
game.
Go Eagles, go Birds.
If you don't know who that is, he is the Philadelphia Eagles running back. Very dynamic, very strong. Dude weighs 225 pounds, spin move, jumps up, reverse hurdle over an opponent, and almost in midair turns around before he gets tackled like he was about to go to the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone was in shock how athletic he was in that moment. Now, let's say this. He did all that, a reverse hurdle, jump backwards. Our highest, you can basically like parallel that to, hey, y'all was excited about that? Well, guess what? We have women high jumpers who can jump over your tallest NBA player.
2 meters.
You know what I'm saying?
2
Like,
meters.
that's impressive. Sometimes you have to dumb things down or put them or simplify them to where it makes it exciting. Everyone gets lost in meters or feet or 3 attempts, 6 attempts. No, this person's about to jump the length of a school bus in long jump. That's amazing. People have seen school buses drive by. There's a lot of people in America who can't even tell you what 2 meters look like when you calculate it to feet. You're losing people with the lack of knowledge. You got to give them what their knowledge is so then they can say, that is amazing.
All right, man. Shoot, I know our field events, people going to let us know in the comments, man, what y'all think, man. We definitely want to help blow y'all up and ideas and, put on meets for you guys. So, like I said, the throw-a-thon, like, we not trying to change what you guys do. We just trying to make it more exciting so the general fan could understand what you guys do. Brings more eyes, but brings more money, but brings more attention to track and field. So that's what our platform is for.
So another thing that's going on right now, man, there's a lot of 1v1 talks going on.
Oh,
so the newest 1v1, it was Fred versus Matthew Hudson Smith at one point. Then there was who else we had out there? We had Mondo.
Mm-hmm. You had the bow telling Fred to meet him wherever, whenever.
Very true. So, and now you got Cole Hawker the Olympic gold medalist in the 1500, calling out Fred.
Listen, I like this because it's an unorthodox 1v1, right? He's saying 600 meters, right? Fred's like, it can't be anywhere cold, and it got to be, he going old school, it need to be in the street. Listen, that's amazing. He said he want to race in the street. So I'd love to see something like that. That's something that definitely could happen in the fall.
How would that even look like, bro? Like, what would you do? Like a 600 meter straightaway? Like,
you don't even have to do it straight away. It could be a roadway, curving or whatever, but it just has to be 600 meters. I feel like Fred will try to beat him on acceleration and get out really hard and see how long he could hold on. But Cole will probably maintain a really good medium pace and try to kick at the end and reel him back. And I think that's how he explained it in his interview. Like, that's how he'll try to get Fred.
100%. I believe it. I think that Cole has to make sure that Fred doesn't get away too far.
Yeah.
And he has to make sure he keeps that distance on him to where he can close down when he goes for his kick. If he doesn't, he's going to kick just enough to even maybe get next to him, but still not have the victory.
True, but at the end of the day, he can't get out fast too, because then he'll burn himself.
You're
He ain't
right.
gonna have no kick.
Listen,
He ain't gonna have no kick.
listen, this is what's going to happen. Cole's going to have to show his foot speed from the beginning, conservatively, and you're going to look at Fred and say, okay, Fred, you're going to have to hold top end speed longer than you usually hold top end speed, right? He's been a 100-meter runner for a couple of years now. Now he's kind of jumping back into the 200. We haven't seen him in the 400. We don't know how his workouts go in that area. But at 600 meters, it's a tall order.
Very
It's a tall order.
It is, boy. 6. I said 5. Fred had it for sure. 6. The extra hundreds.
Listen, you roll up. Listen, boy, you roll up to the juice bar and you order that 20 ounce. That's what that is. The 600 meters is 20 ounce. So he got to make sure that he's primed and ready in a speed endurance shape so he can go.
So speaking of 1v1s, bro, we all know what happened in that 1v1 with Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey from back in that time. I think Donovan Bailey is probably one of the most underrated sprinters of his time, because I think he did so much in a short period of time. Like, he had like the 50-meter world record, he had the 150 world record, and then he had the 100-meter world record within, like, I think it was like 96, 97. He did all of that in that small period of time.
Yeah.
Right?
He had the 100-meter world record? Or was it the Olympic record?
He had the 100-meter world and Olympic record at the same time.
Listen, boy.
Donovan Bailey, shout out to Donovan Bailey.
Donovan, you should have played poker that year, dog. You would have swept the table, dog. You would have had it all.
Yeah, 50-meter world record that he did. I think he did it in Canada. Then he had the 150 world record, and he had the 100-meter world and Olympic record at the same time.
That boy got some top end. Because he ain't the best starter. He was not the best starter. He had some top end.
He was the world champion and Olympic champion. Like, he did so much. Like, he could have went to bed at 98 and be like, F all y'all. Like, he did it.
He has the Olympic record too.
And a 1v1, you think you could be Donovan in your prime and Donovan in his prime? And Donovan, we want to hear from you if you think you could be Justin around that, what, we'll say 2000, 2005 range?
Yes.
What you think could have happened? Because at that point, you are the world and Olympic champion. Could Donovan beat you?
No.
In a 1v1?
No. I'm going to give him his flowers.
What you mean? But that boy was riding, boy.
He was riding.
You watched the video?
Listen, man, I bet on me. If I'm going to show to the line, I got to bet on me.
I hear you, bro.
I got to bet on me.
That boy riding, but I ain't never seen no knees come up. Listen, his calves look like 2 pencils, but that boy quads look like 2 V8s.
I think where I would be able to take the advantage in the situation is I'm a better starter than he is. I'm a better starter than Michael was as well. So I would create distance. Now, creating distance would kind of give me a more equal footing if he has better top end speed than I do, right? That's an if.
But that's his thing, though. Hey, Donovan always said that he didn't really care about the start too much because he know his top end was superior.
It's true. I mean, when you watch his race, especially the Olympics in '96 when he won, he was not in the lead by far at all. He was not first, second, third. Maybe he was fourth. But when you watch him get to his peak of top end speed, he just runs everyone down and he wins. Like, in a situation like that, you have to strategize. That's how I would go into it, right? I know what his strengths are and I know what his weaknesses are. Now, how can I placate to it? How can I know that I'm going to capitalize? I got to make sure that my start is great. My transition is strong. And I got to make sure I'm going to have a solid top end speed. Like when I get out, I'm not decelerating. I am moving through that zone. And I got to keep on moving because I know he's going to come. It's the same thing. It's the same strategy you have if you're ready to get someone like Tyson. Like Tyson doesn't have the best start. But if you in striking distance when he's in top end, you ain't winning.
I got one for you. You called Tyson. So I went back. 2015, 1v1, you and Noah Lyles. Who wins? Noah Lyles, 2024. Justin Gatlin, 2015, 1v1. Who wins? 150.
What year was I?
2015.
2015?
2015, Justin Gatlin against 2024, Noah Lyles.
I'm winning. The numbers already show that I'm winning. I went 19.5 that year, and I ran 5.97s that year, under 9.79.
All right, well, so you go 2022 Noah Lyles then. That's 19.3 Noah. I did. Noah, we know you watching. We're going to see what you say in the comments. You need to comment.
You going to keep on putting different Noahs in front of me now?
Nah,
what about this Noah?
No,
what about that Noah?
No, it's 2022 Noah because 2022 Noah didn't run 100.
All right.
So 2022 Noah was hyperly focused on the 200 meters, in which he's the American record holder, in which is 150 would be.
I'll say it like this. I would
race.
have hell on my hands. I ain't going to lie. I'll have hell on my hands.
It'll be a good race, though.
It'll be a great race. I'm flashbacking right now thinking about when he came off that turn to run 19.3 and how he was moving. I was like, yeah, that's different level moving right there. Like, just to run a 150. And when you in shape, like when you know you in 200 meter shape, anything below 200 meters, like a 150 or 120, like you looking at that sideways, you like, man, I got this. What are you talking about, dog? I'm about to kill this shit. That's how you be at practice. You know that, bro.
Shoot.
If you in 100 meter shape and you look at the 60, you be like, I'm about to kill this, dog.
That's good. That's definitely good, man. Shoot.
I wouldn't mind doing a 300, though.
Who would you 1v1 a 300 with?
Woo.
And which version of you running this 300?
College.
I'm about to say, that ain't gonna be 19.
College version of me, dog. Sophomore year college version.
Yeah, you were splitting 44s back then.
Yeah.
Right?
Low 44-1. So, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I feel like I would want to race LaShawn. I like racing LaShawn. I love racing LaShawn in the 200. He always had me nervous. He always had me nervous.
When talking to LaShawn is always because I was with LaShawn for like a year or two, and he'd always, that race where you beat him, he'd always be like, I just let him get too far. But I remember you telling me that was your game plan. You was like, bro, I'm putting him so far at a deficit to where he ain't going to even really be able to come back.
Yeah, once I said, like, you have to be a strategist in different races. So if you know that you're racing against somebody that has, that can hold top end speed longer than you, then I have to be able to beat you in a certain area where I know that you can't do. Like him even being a 200 meter runner and running 19.7, he ran that 19.7 like from start to finish. Like once he got up to speed, he held that speed all the way through. You didn't see a gear shift like with 50 to go or at the 70 meter mark. Like he ran it like he ran a 400. Like boom, 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 boom. So I had to make sure that I got out, I created enough deficit that once he went to go and try to catch me, that's when it was going to turn into a foot race. And he wasn't going to be able to hold me off.
I'd love to see a 300 with Taboho and LaShawn.
Oh, Prime LaShawn?
Prime LaShawn. Right,
You know who I want to see?
Who that?
I would love to see Taboho and Wade.
Oh, man, that'd be a good one too.
Wade.
That'd be a good one too. That'd be a good. I'd like to see Wade and Mike in the 300. Wade Van Dijk and Michael Johnson, and both in prime.
Where you gonna put Usain at?
All three of them had the world record at one point, correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it don't have to be a 1v1. It could be 1 versus 3. 3. I'd like to see that race and who will hold up. I'd like to hear from Van Niekerk. I already know Bolt will possibly say he think he'll win. We know Mike think he wins. We know Mike think he wins. We know that. We know that. Mike ain't losing in no situation. He's retired, all goals as a champion. He is not taking no L's and no strategy, rewritten history. He wins. But I'd like to see what Van Niekerk thinks. What does he think he wins? Even though he is the former 300 world record holder.
He's a humble guy, man.
He is, but I'd like to see what he says.
I think he would be like, it'll be a tough race to see what happens. But I think in the back of my mind, he'll be like, I'll be killing these dudes.
Oh, man.
On South Africa.
Well, speaking of Mike, man, we got the Grand Slam track coming up, man. The experiences they've been having, they've been posting on socials lately about who they have. We've seen some of the athletes going to like the games out in LA and what's going on, man. Shout out to T doing those amazing interviews, man. T, I'm so proud of you, man. You deserve everything you get. I want to see you go to a different stratosphere in every way, man. Shout out to
T, man, she got the whole backdrop and
man,
everything.
Listen, they did her well, man. She did.
T gonna be the next Oprah or the Gayle. Wherever you want to be, you gonna be the next T.
Yeah, people gonna be lying to you. On your show like they do the Gayle. Anyway. No shots fired. No shots.
I like how you brought that connection back, though. Damn. Because she was at Aflo's. Back to Stallion.
Oh, she was. I'm just playing. Hey, relax, girl.
So, bro, I love what I saw on social media with the presentation of Grand Slam.
Look, man, it looked like it's going to be a beautiful rollout, bro. I'd love to see what it's going to be like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we still don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but we don't know what the streaming situation is or the television situation. That was one thing that, quote unquote, stopped Noah from being a part of the Grand Slam. But when you're dealing with someone like Mike ain't gonna come. He ain't gonna come half-assed.
No.
It's Michael Johnson, bro. Like, you realize that the way he took competition when he competed is the same way he's gonna pour himself into the presentation of this meet. You can see it. I mean, him jumping out his Porsche, him having a whole dinner, like almost like the table was set up almost like the Last Supper.
What?
I looked at it, I was like, this the Last Supper? What's going on here? But it was a beautiful setup, man. The table, the food looked delicious. There was a lot of new athletes that came on board that we know. Remy Rich showed up. He's a part of it now. Shamir Little's a part of it. Camacho Quinn's a part of it. There's so many athletes, Sydney. But then what I loved about it is you also saw like behind the scenes when it came to like their presentation, like them getting videos of them from different angles, like those swag, poses and, what I'm saying, presentations. They really are putting in a great amount of work to make sure that it looks great. Like they do a good job of that.
How you did it, man? I like the structure the more that I've seen it, because for the Cinderella story track and field athlete, and what I mean by that when I say Cinderella story, that's the athlete without a deal that's possibly could compete amongst the greats. He could change their life as a competitor, not being a salaried athlete that is at his game. So from my understanding from how it's based, because you have or a challenger, that's what he calls them. You have the contract runners, and then you have challengers who will be other runners who will fill the lanes. So for the Cinderella story track athlete, it's going to be a great year to change their lives themselves without a contract, or, that's one of the bases what we do. We run for contracts. But if you're the challenger and you step into a race like 100 meters and you beat everybody as the challenger, you're still eligible to get the 100K, which changes your life immediately at that point. You're no longer a a Cinderella track and field athlete struggling to make it. And we've seen plenty of stories of athletes that were struggling, that won USA's, got deals and everything. But now next year is going to be a great year for Cinderella story track athletes to run track and field because everything in money went up. Diamond League went up.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that Paul Doyle, the American track lead, those purses went up, but there'll be less meets. You have Grand Slam track, which is a huge purse. You have Athlos, which is going to have a sizable purse. Like, it's going to be a great time in track and field to make money. Is it where we want it to be? No, but I think we're definitely taking a step in the right direction.
Force the narrative to bring more money into the sport. It changes the game. Everyone has to change to be able to compete now. That's what it is.
And I like it. I like it. Shoot, I definitely want to say at this point of the season, man, we're going to see a bunch of new stars. We didn't plan on talking about this part. We definitely going to see a bunch of new stars in NCAA indoor starting around December, man. I'm very excited to see what new stars will unfold, who's coming out, who's going to take pro contracts going into world championships, from what countries where they'll be in, and how this shakes things up for track and field.
No, man, I agree 100%. I can't wait for NCAA to start the team dynamics. What team is going to like not only be highly competitive as a team, but like the individuals that help construct that. And those lone like athletes that really make their mark, like Mackenzie Long last year. You know what I'm saying? Watching her run and dominate through the season. Like, are we going to have another athlete that's going to come out just like that?
Shoot, man, listen.
What's Quincy going to do? You see Quincy been running around. Quincy Wilson been running around doing a lot of these
Texas
photo
Tech.
ops.
Yeah,
and
I seen him.
Tennessee, Texas Tech, all these other places. So it makes you think like, is he going to go to college or is he just kind of like getting the experience and then he's going to make the decision if he's going to turn pro?
I don't know. Even if he don't turn pro, I think it's in his favor for any school to have a gold medalist at 16 or a former gold medalist who was at 16 at their school. He makes NIL money, so it makes sense. He could even go to school and still make money. There'll probably be some type of NIL deal. You see, he been to 2 Texas schools. We know Texas got the money.
Oh yeah, 100% for sure, definitely.
So we don't know where that goes, but that's definitely going to be exciting to see where that goes. I'm definitely happy for him. I'm excited to see how Christian Miller career takes flight without college. You know what I mean? Him turning pro with Puma. Definitely want to see him go in the greatest direction. See how that's going to shape the future of American sprinting. So
well. It's coming down on us right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy. The season is upon us. So we're about to see exactly what's going to happen, man. Yeah, for sure.
So that's our episode today, man. Y'all stay tuned with us, man. We got an episode with Michelle Freeman coming up, man. Y'all be sure to watch. She gives a lot of knowledge on the science behind the 4x1. It was definitely an enjoyable episode.
It was a lot of ups and downs. Why USA has faltered, why they are successful. She breaks everything down. It's very knowledgeable and it has a lot of clarity to it. So y'all check it out. Next episode coming soon.
There we go. Thank you for tuning in with us. Next time on our show, ready, set, go.